There are just over 285 minutes left in this practice session. There are just over 285 minutes left in this practice session. Wayne Pearson is on their first practice flying lap. Wanderer has a best lap time of 2:07.590. Jurg Yu is on their practice out lap. Wanderer posted a 2:07.590 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Wayne Pearson is in second Curva di Lesmo. Megasaurus 55 posted 2:04.606 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? With just 281 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. There are just over 280 minutes left in this practice session. There are just over 280 minutes left in this practice session. Wayne Pearson has a best lap time of 2:08.664. Megasaurus 55 posted a 2:05.281 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? It's a lovely day for racing here at Monza as we watch these drivers warm up and get ready for the race. Robin Overbeck is on their practice out lap. Hippie posted 10:46.147 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? It's a lovely day for racing here at Monza as we watch these drivers warm up and get ready for the race. Megasaurus 55 has a best lap time of 2:04.606. Jerg Yu is on their practice out lap. It's a lovely day for racing here at Monza as we watch these drivers warm up and get ready for the race. There are just over 275 minutes left in this practice session. There are just over 275 minutes left in this practice session. With just 274 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. Eddie G is getting to grips with the KTM Expo R in this practice session. Wanderer has a best lap time of 2:07.590. Wayne Pearson posted a 2:08.022 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Robin Overbeck has a best lap time of 2:05.008. With just 272 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. Wayne Pearson has a best lap time of 2:08.664. Jerg Yu posted 2:10.277 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? There are just over 270 minutes left in this practice session. There are just over 270 minutes left in this practice session. Hippie posted a 2:03.222 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Richard Rossier is on their practice out lap. Stefano Canonica has a best lap time of 2:50.749. Megasaurus 55 has a best lap time of 2:04.606. With just 267 minutes left before we move to qualification, there is not long left for these drivers to finish their preparations. It's a lovely day for racing here at Monza as we watch these drivers warm up and get ready for the race. Rob Keane posted a 2:05.188 on their last lap. How will they do on this one? Just over 265 minutes left in this practice session. There are just over 265 minutes left in this practice session. Here we go, folks. The atmosphere is electric as the drivers prepare to unleash their machines on the track at Monza for the qualifying session. Richard Rossier is on their outlap.
It's all about finding that balance between staying calm and focused while also pushing the limits.
It looks like Wanderer is getting ready to make their move. They're taking their time to warm up those tires and get everything just right.
These are the moments that really matter. Let's see if Wanderer can deliver.
This is where the mental game comes into play. Rob and Overbeck is taking their time to prepare for their qualifying run. It's all about strategy in these early moments. Stefano Canonica is taking their time to prepare for their qualifying run and get everything just right.
It's a delicate balance between taking it easy and pushing hard. Let's see how Stefano Canonica handles it.
The adrenaline is pumping. Rob Keane is on their outlap, warming up the tyres and getting ready to put in a fast lap time.
They will want to get a good gap established for their first flying lap.
Rob and Overbeck is on their outlap.
This is the moment they've been preparing for. Let's see if they can execute.
Rob and Overbeck has completed their outlap. There are just over 10 minutes left in this qualification session. Hugh Jass has completed their outlap. There are just over 10 minutes left in this qualification. Hippie has completed their outlap. There are just over 10 minutes left in this qualification. Jerg Yu has completed their outlap. There are just over 10 minutes left in this qualification session. Roll Postma has just completed a lap in 2:04.596. Let's see if they can improve on the time further. This is what it's all about. Jurg Yu is putting on a show for the fans in this qualifying session. Jurg Yu has completed their outlap. It's clear that Wayne Pearson is on a mission in this qualifying session. They're pushing their car to the limit.
It's always impressive to see a driver in the zone like this, Rob. Let's see if they can maintain this pace.
Wayne Pearson has completed their first flying lap in 2:08.315. The pressure is on in this qualifying session, but Rob Keane is rising to the occasion.
They certainly are. This is shaping up to be a...
Rob Keane has just completed that lap in 2:03.097. Their best lap so far is 2:03.097. Putting them in P1. Will they be able to hold on to that spot? Megasaurus 55 is on their first flying lap. Megasaurus 55 has just completed a lap in 2:04.131. Let's see if they can improve on the time further. Wow, look at Wanderer go. They're really turning on the jets in this qualifying session. Wanderer has completed their first flying lap in 2:06.110. This is what it's all about. Richard Rossier is putting on a show for the fans in this qualifying session. Richard Rossier has just completed that lap in 2:05.196. Their best lap so far is 2:05.196. Putting them in P6. Will they be able to hold on to that spot? There are just over 5 minutes left in this qualification session. There are just over 5 minutes left in this qualification session. Hippie has some work to do as the 2:07.873 is only good enough for 12th. I think I just saw a blur fly by. Oh wait, that's just Robin Overbeck going at lightning speed. Robin Overbeck will be happy having put themselves into second in this qualifying session. Someone call the fire department, because Wanderer is setting this track on fire with their performance. Looks like Hugh Jass is channeling their inner Schumacher today. They're absolutely flying out there. Hugh Jass will be happy having put themselves into fourth in this qualifying session.
Every fraction of a second counts. I'm sure they can find a little extra in there.
Mr. Bang has completed their outlap. I don't know about you, but I think Jurg Yu might have a secret rocket booster hidden in their car. They're just that fast.
Looks like Jorg Yu is really cooking with gas out there today.
Time to bring out the marshmallows and let's toast some fuel. Woohoo! Hippie is really turning up the heat out there. I'm getting goosebumps just watching them go. Someone call the fire department, because Richard Rossier is setting this truck on fire with their performance. I think I just saw a blur fly by. Oh wait, that's just Jurg Yu going at lightning speed.
Well, Rob, it seems like Jorg Yu has got the need for speed, and nothing is going to stop them now.
Jurg Yu has some work to do as that 205.554 is only good enough for 9th.
That's not a bad time, but I am sure they can improve further on that.
I don't know about you, but I think Robin Overbeck might have a secret rocket booster hidden in their car. They're just that fast. Not the ideal start for Hippie in this qualifying session. Currently in 11th position, they'll be eager to put together a strong final lap to improve their standing. The pressure is on, and they'll need to deliver their best performance.
I couldn't agree more, Rob. Hippie is facing a tough challenge, but they are known for their fighting spirit. This qualifying session is a test of their character, and I believe they have what it takes to overcome this setback.
Hippie has some work to do as the 207.109 is only good enough for 10th. Impressive work from Robin Overbeck, who has claimed 2nd on the grid. Now, the focus is on maintaining their composure and pushing for an even better starting position.
I couldn't agree more, Rob. Robin Overbeck has done a fantastic job to claim 2nd.
Robin Overbeck will be happy having put themselves into 1st in this qualifying session. Roll Postma has positioned themselves well in 6th during qualifying. The challenge now is to assess their competitors and strategize how to move up the order for a better race start. Roll Postma will be happy having put themselves into 5th in this qualifying session. It hasn't been the best qualifying session for Wayne Pearson so far. They find themselves in 12th position, which is not where they had hoped to be. However, there's still time left on the clock, and they have the opportunity to make improvements. Wayne Pearson has some work to do as that 207.332 is only good enough for 12th. A solid performance from Jurg Yu as they currently hold position 9. However, with the session coming to a close, they'll need to find that extra bit of speed if they want to move up the grid. Jurg Yu has some work to do as the 206.559 is only good enough for 9th. There's a little bit of wind in the air today here at Monza, as we're getting ready to get things underway.
The tension's building now. This is going to be another great race.
Starting from pole position is a dream come true for Robin Overbeck.
But they can't let that advantage go to waste. They will need to stay focused and keep their eyes on the prize.
The second position belongs to Rob Keane.
And like many others, they are starting the race on the medium's tire compound.
The third place on the grid belongs to Megasaurus 55, a driver with plenty of experience.
Big things expected for Megasaurus 55 today.
As the drivers prepare to take off, Hugh Jass sits in 4th place on the starting grid. Watch out for Roel Postma, starting from the 5th grid position in today's race. Starting from the 6th position, Stefano Canonica will need to navigate through the field to challenge for the win.
Lining up in the mid-pack.
Richard Rossier is lining up 7th.
But if they can find their rhythm early on, they could be a real threat.
In the middle of the pack, we have Wanderer starting from the 8th position on the grid.
Wanderer is going to show us something special, I'm sure of it.
Jurg Yu is going to be starting from 9th. Sitting in 10th is Hippie. Wayne Pearson may not be starting from pole, but they're still in with a shot. Starting from 12th on the grid is a bit of a mixed bag for Puppy Dog from Hell.
We've seen great results from here. What has Puppy Dog from Hell got in store for us?
Mr. Bang is in a solid position starting from 13th on the grid. The lights go out, and we are off to a flying start.
This is where the real racecraft comes into play. The drivers will be looking for any opportunity to make a move and gain an advantage.
It's all about finding those gaps and making the most of them, especially in these early stages of the race.
And with so many talented drivers on the grid, you know we're going to see some incredible overtakes here in the first sector.
It's not just about making a move, it's about doing it cleanly and without causing any incidents. Is there a better sight than a field of elite racing drivers battling for position?
I am so excited at the prospects for this race, I can't wait to see the drama unfold.
I can't wait to see how this race will play out. The pressure is on whilst the field is bunched. Who can keep their cool and take advantage?
It all comes down to this, Rob, where the rubber meets the road. There's no more time for talk, no more practice. The teams have done all they can, now it comes down to Wanderer to bring it home.
These early salvos will shape the outcome of this race.
I for one am really excited, Rob. The rivalry between Megasaurus 55 and Stefano Canonica has been building before the race, and this is where scores are settled.
Settling into a rhythm is going to be crucial here. Looks like Rob Keane is legging it from Robin Overbeck. The gap's growing like a well-watered wattle as they zoom through Curva Parabolica. Stop the press. That won't be ideal for Rob Keane.
It's a real shame. Until this point in the race, they'd been looking at a decent result.
Wow, Megasaurus 55 is really pushing hard to catch up to Stefano Canonica. There's blood in the water for 4th place. The fans are on the edge of their seats. It doesn't get any closer than this.
Can they close up enough for a pass? I don't see it personally.
It's looking good for Robin Overbeck, who has gained places and put some distance between themselves and Rob Keane.
Yes, but they have to keep pushing hard.
Hold that thought. Hold the phone. Now I may be wrong here, but I'm not sure that's the racing line. The tension is palpable. Who will come out on top in this epic showdown?
It's a battle for position as Stefano Canonica tries to make a move on Megasaurus 55. This is what racing is all about.
Oh dear, Stefano Canonica has dropped down to 6th. It's a tale of two drivers right now, with Stefano Canonica gaining places and Megasaurus 55 losing them.
Where there's a will, there's a relative.
The gap between Roll Postma and Stefano Canonica is razor thin as they vie for 4th in this nail-biting contest. An impressive showing from Roll Postma, who has gained positions and left Stefano Canonica in the dust.
Absolutely, Roll Postma is showing great pace and determination, but they can't get too confident. There are still plenty of challenges ahead.
No room for error here. Rob Keane is breathing down the neck of Robin Overbeck, waiting for the perfect chance to make their move.
I remember being in a similar situation during my racing days. Rob Keane must stay focused and wait for the perfect opportunity to overtake.
Hold on to your hats, folks. Stefano Canonica is right on the heels of Roll Postma, and we're in for a wild ride.
As a former driver, I can tell you there's nothing quite like the adrenaline rush when you're this close to your rival, ready to make your move.
Coming into Rettifilo Partenza, the fight for first is heating up. Who will be the first to blink? A brilliant maneuver from Robin Overbeck, who has just moved up the field.
Impressive. Robin Overbeck is really showing their skill and determination out there.
Tough break for Robin Overbeck, who has just lost a position.
Definitely. But Robin Overbeck is a skilled driver, and they have what it takes to fight back and regain that position.
Every move counts now as Roll Postma works to reel in Stefano Canonica and overtake for P4. Well, I'll be a monkey's Uncle Hal, but Roll Postma's plans have gone walkabout right now. They're having a proper Barry Crocker keeping up with Stefano Canonica. The action is heating up here as wait, looks like that's a mistake from Robin Overbeck. This could be costly. We got a close battle as Roll Postma closes in on Stefano Canonica.
That's right, Roll Postma is determined to pass Stefano Canonica and secure a higher position.
A tough moment for Roll Postma, who has just lost a place, dumping them down to 6th. The track conditions are looking good here today. The drivers will be able to push the cars to the limit and it's going to make for some exciting racing. It's like watching two predators circling each other, waiting for the perfect moment to pounce.
If things go wrong between Robin Overbeck and Megasaurus 55, they could be exchanging more than just paint, like maybe a strongly worded post-race chat.
They're going for the same piece of tarmac. Sparks are flying as they battle for position, daring each other to brake later and go deeper into the corners.
Absolutely, Rob. The energy in the crowd is electric, and it's no wonder why. These drivers are leaving it all on the track, fighting tooth and nail for victory. It's anyone's guess who will come out on top.
The action is non-stop as Stefano Canonica shadows Megasaurus 55 through every twist and turn, determined to claim 4th.
The slightest mistake from either driver could lead to a meeting with the barriers, and nobody wants an impromptu autograph session with the wall.
Big gains for Stefano Canonica as they move up the field, leaving Megasaurus 55 behind.
Definitely, but there's still a long way to go in this race, and anything can happen. Stefano Canonica needs to keep driving with focus and intensity.
A great moment for Stefano Canonica, who has just gained a place and moved up the standings. The battle for 4 is heating up as Megasaurus 55 tries to catch Robin Overbeck in P4. And Megasaurus 55 has just won the place from Robin Overbeck. Whoa, Stefano Canonica is coming in hot. I don't know if it's the red mist or if they have just missed their breaking point. What a move. Stefano Canonica has moved up to 6th. It's a game of inches now as Robin Overbeck tails Stefano Canonica closely, ready to capitalize on any mistake.
Should things go south between Robin Overbeck and Stefano Canonica, we might witness a high-speed game of bumper cars, but trust me, it's way less fun with real race cars.
Great driving from Robin Overbeck, who has just gained a place and moved up to 6th.
Amazing stuff. Focus and precision, what it's all about.
Oh my, Stefano Canonica is hot on the tail of Robin Overbeck. As they come into Variante Ascari, I'm sure they may have a cheeky peek up the inside. Heartbreak for Stefano Canonica as they slip down the field.
That's got to be frustrating. But Stefano Canonica is a skilled driver, and they have what it takes to battle their way back up the field.
Roll Postma is on a mission, chasing Megasaurus 55, who's desperately trying to stay ahead.
That driver is really pushing the limits. They're riding the curbs and pushing the car to its limits.
Crikey. Roll Postma is losing touch with Megasaurus 55 quicker than a kangaroo on a trampoline. This is where the skill and experience of the drivers really come into play. Stefano Canonica will need to stay focused and keep pushing, even when the gap seems insurmountable. It's not over until the checkered flag drops. The gap between Stefano Canonica and Jurg Yu is fading faster than the last rays of the outback sun.
He'll be looking for a mistake to pounce on.
As a former racing driver, Hal, how important is the relationship between a driver and their team during a race?
It's absolutely crucial, Rob. The team provides valuable information and support, helping the driver make the right decisions on track. A strong bond between the driver and the team can be the difference between winning and losing.
Looks like Robin Overbeck is really pushing it to the limit. They're taking those curbs aggressively, but that can unsettle the car and cause handling issues.
Indeed, taking too much curb can upset the car's balance, leading to oversteer or understeer. It's all about finding the right balance between speed and control. The gap between them is just over 0.5 seconds. Who will have the speed and skill to come out on top?
It's starting to look like we might get a battle between Robin Overbeck and Richard Rossier.
He's waiting on that golden chance like a hound on a pork chop.
Superb driving from Robin Overbeck, who with that overtake has gained a position in the race. It's a battle of wills out there, with Roll Postma trying to outsmart and outmaneuver Megasaurus 55. The gap is slowly closing, but time is running out. Will we see a dramatic finish to this race?
It's going to be tough for Royal Postma, as Megasaurus 55 seems to have found their rhythm. But anything can happen in racing, and we've seen Royal Postma pull off some impressive moves before. I'm excited to see if they can make it happen again.
Richard Rossier is pushing really hard, but as we know, pushing too hard can lead to other mistakes, like locking up the brakes or missing a shift. These drivers are walking a tightrope between pushing the limits and making costly errors.
Absolutely, it's all about finding that sweet spot where you're pushing the car to its limits without crossing the line into reckless driving. That's where experience and skill come into play. It's a game of strategy now as Richard Rossier hunts down Robin Overbeck. Yes, it's all about choosing the right moments to push and when to conserve energy, waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike.
Oh, this is getting intense. Roll Postma is just a few car lengths behind Megasaurus 55. The crowd is on its feet as Megasaurus 55 chases down Huge Ass through Curva del Seraglio.
This battle between Megasaurus 55 and Huge Ass is so intense, you could cut the tension with a knife, or should I say, with a front wing.
A great pass for Megasaurus 55 as they pick off other drivers and move up the field. Meanwhile, Huge Ass has lost ground.
Go, 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 that's what we want to see.
Stop the press. I don't think that's the fastest way around Monza.
Did the wind contribute to that? It's blowing at 8 kph out there right now.
This is where the skill and precision of the drivers really comes into play. Roll Postma is chasing Megasaurus 55 in P2. The adrenaline is pumping as Wanderer gets within striking distance of Mr. Bang in their race for 11th. Fantastic move from Wanderer, who has just gained a position.
You can't argue with results like that. Wanderer is really making their mark on this race.
The drivers are really pushing their limits out there on the track.
It's like they're trying to outrun the laws of physics, but we all know that's impossible. Or is it? I mean, we're a couple of AI commenting on a race, anything can happen.
Haha, you have a point there. And speaking of pushing limits, these cars are breaking records left and right.
They're so fast, it's like they're breaking the sound barrier, or at least the speed limit.
I hope the police aren't watching. Mr. Bang is running 12th. They are trying to catch Wanderer.
This is where every inch counts. Mr. Bang is pushing hard to close the gap on Wanderer. Absolutely, precision and control are key here. Knowing when to push and when to hold back can be the difference between winning and losing.
The gap between Puppy Dog from Hell and Wayne Pearson is pretty substantial right now. It's probably going to take a mistake from Puppy Dog from Hell to even allow Wayne Pearson to get a look in.
Every race adds to a driver's experience, both good and bad. It just highlights that Wayne Pearson is going to have to get more serious with practice if they don't want to be outclassed on the circuit.
Fair dinkum, Wayne Pearson is getting a wriggle on. The gap to Puppy Dog from Hell is now down to a whisker at 1.7 seconds. Fantastic racing on show here today, and it's not just the top drivers who are impressing us. Even the drivers at the back of the pack are putting up a good fight, battling it out for every position.
It's a testament to the level of competition at Assetto Corsa Friends. Even the smallest mistake can cost you valuable seconds or even lead to a crash, but these drivers are up to the challenge and they're giving it their all. It's clear that Assetto Corsa Friends really is the place to be for top quality racing.
The gap between Wayne Pearson in 10th and Puppy Dog from Hell remains over a second, but Wayne Pearson is not letting up. They're pushing hard and looking for any opportunity to close that gap up. Can they pull it back in the remaining 5 minutes?
This is where experience comes into play. Puppy Dog from Hell has...
Braking alert. That won't be ideal for Mr. Bang. It looks like Wayne Pearson is pushing hard to catch up to Puppy Dog from Hell. The gap is over a second, but Wayne Pearson is not giving up just yet. Can they close the distance and make a move on Puppy Dog from Hell? The pursuit is on. Stefano Canonica is closing the gap on Jurg Yu, determined to claim P7.
The gap between them is just over 0.8 seconds. Can Stefano Canonica close that gap and get back in range? I can't see it happening at this point.
The gap between Puppy Dog from Hell and Wayne Pearson. Hold up, breaking info. Now I may be wrong here, but I'm not sure that's the racing line.
Monza is always a test for these drivers, and sometimes that's the way it goes.
The pressure is on for Stefano Canonica as they try to catch up to Jurg Yu. Well, don't come the raw prawn. Stefano Canonica's giving it some stick, pulling Jurg Yu into a mere 0.3 seconds.
Exactly what Stefano Canonica needed. They can't afford to lose any more ground to Jurg Yu.
The race is heating up as Hugh Jass in 6th closes in on Richard Rossier. The gap is just over a second, and I'm sure they are going to do everything possible to try and close the distance. They're not giving up without a fight. Hugh Jass could be on a charge here, how they have just put in a quicker lap than Richard Rossier. Look at that, Stefano Canonica is hot on the tail of Jurg Yu.
I think they are going to take them.
Bloody oath, Stefano Canonica is flat out like a lizard drinking, gnawing into the gap to Jurg Yu down to a scant 0.4 seconds. It's a classic case of chasing down the car ahead for Hugh Jass, who is currently in P6, but Richard Rossier is not making it easy, and the gap remains over a second. This will require some expert driving from Hugh Jass.
It's a nail-biting race for sure, with both drivers showing incredible skill and determination. But Richard Rossier is not going to give up their position easily. This is going to be a battle to the very end, with Hugh Jass and P6 doing everything they can to catch up.
Pushing too hard can lead to mistakes, and we're seeing that now. That car is really unsettled as they push for every last bit of speed.
The gap between them is now just over 0.5 seconds. Who will come out on top?
Stefano Canonica has got their head down now, working those exits and apexes and setting their best lap time so far with a 2 minutes. Things are heating up as Hugh Jass tries to close the gap to Richard Rossier.
The gap is 0.8 seconds now. Hugh Jass is going to have to work a bit harder to close that gap with Richard Rossier.
The gap between Hugh Jass and Richard Rossier is expanding faster than a bull's waistline. It's now a whopping 1.5 seconds. Every move counts now as Stefano Canonica works to reel in Jurg Yu and overtake for P7. Robin Overbeck is giving it their all as they chase down Roel Postma in P3. In your experience, Hal, what was the most important aspect of managing tyre degradation during a race?
The most important aspect, Rob, was maintaining a good balance between pushing hard and conserving tires. Finding the sweet spot between aggression and tire preservation was key to optimizing race pace and strategy.
As they speed through Curva del Seraglio, Richard Rossier is relentlessly pursuing Hugh Jass in a high-stakes battle for position. As we come into the final moments of this epic race, Rob Keane is in the lead. Can they stay calm and bring home the bacon? And it's a checkered flag for Rob Keane, who crosses the finish line with a commanding victory. What a phenomenal performance, absolutely dominant today.
What a result for Rob Keane. They'll be absolutely thrilled with that performance, and rightly so. They really put in the work and it's paid off in spades.
Megasaurus 55 never gave up. They drove with heart and determination, ultimately securing a well-deserved second-place finish.
Strong work securing second place. Well done.
That was an outstanding performance from Roel Postma. They fought hard and took the final spot on the podium. Robin Overbeck, Hugh Jass, Richard Rossier, and Jurg Yu in 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th. Stefano Canonica brings home 8th. 9th sees Wanderer. Finishing 10th is Wayne Pearson. Coming in 11th we have Puppy Dog from Hell. 12th is Hippie. Mr. Bang end in 13th. There's a little bit of wind in the air today here at Monza, as we're getting ready to kick things off. Starting from pole position is the best possible outcome for Wanderer.
But they can't get cocky. This is Assetto Corsa Friends and anything can happen.
At second, we have the one and only Stefano Canonica. Starting from the third position on the grid, we have Jurg Yu.
But they're going to have to be quick out of the blocks if they want to keep up with the top performers.
In fourth place, we have Richard Rossier. Hugh Jass is holding down the fort in fifth place.
Hugh Jass is looking on for a strong result.
Starting from sixth on the grid is a good position for Robin Overbeck to launch an attack.
It's the mediums tires for Robin Overbeck.
Roll Postma will be looking to gain ground quickly as they start from seventh on the grid. The 8th starting position belongs to Megasaurus 55, who will be looking to make up ground early on.
Starting on the mediums tires.
Rob Keane is placed in 9th. As the engines roar to life, Puppy Dog from Hell prepares to take off from the 10th position on the starting grid.
We've not seen the best from Puppy Dog from Hell yet.
Hippie has qualified 11th. Mr. Bang is 12th.
But they've got the skills to make something happen.
And we're off. As the race begins, drivers must be wary of aggressive moves that can lead to trouble on the first lap.
Staying out of trouble in these early moments is crucial. It's a fine line between pushing hard and staying safe.
As the drivers get this race underway, let me give a shout out to the admin team at Assetto Corsa Friends for making this all possible. Heroes one and all.
The race isn't won in the first turn, but there have been plenty that have ended there, Rob.
Having started in 6th, Robin Overbeck will be looking to establish themselves in this race. There's some intense battling throughout the field as everyone is looking to get off to a good start.
All the drivers will be jostling for the best position, Rob. Some of them may not make it to the second lap in one piece.
This is going to be one hell of a race. I can already feel it. The stewards will be hoping that there aren't too many incidents for them to pick over when the dust settles on this one. The racing is normally closely fought here at Monza. I think we are in for a cracking race.
What a beautiful day for racing here at Monza. This is going to be good to watch.
Struth, Richard Rossi is not here to muck about. The gap to Rob Keane is dropping faster than a hot pie at the footy, now at 0.1 seconds.
Just what Richard Rosier needed, like sweet tea on a hot day. Can't let Rob Keane out of sight for too long.
Braking update. Looks like that's a mistake from Wanderer. This could be costly.
Wanderer is not going to be happy about that.
It's neck and neck. The closest battle we've seen in a while. Stefano Canonica seems to be losing the plot with Roll Postma. They'll need to buck up their ideas as they dive into Prima Variante and aim for a ripper exit to gain some ground. The intensity is off the charts as Rob Keane hounds Jurg Yu, both drivers pushing themselves to the absolute limit. Hang on to your cork hats, mates. We're about to see more jousting than a footy final between Rob Keane. Hold on a moment. Oh dear, Richard Rossier has had an incident. The battle for 8 is heating up as Jurg Yu tries to catch Rob Keane in P8. It's a thrilling pursuit as Megasaurus 55 is right behind Puppy Dog from Hell, keeping the pressure on for 4th place. Braking alert. I don't think that's the fastest way around Monza.
It's a real shame. Until this point in the race, they've been looking at a decent result.
The race is really heating up. Hugh Jass is hunting down Wanderer with everything they've got. It's a steady race for Hugh Jass so far. They haven't made any mistakes, and they're maintaining their focus. We often hear drivers complaining about tyre graining. Hal, can you explain what that means and how it affects car handling?
Graining occurs when small rubber particles roll up on the tire's surface, reducing grip and negatively affecting handling. It usually happens when the tires are not in their optimal temperature window or when a driver is pushing too hard on a cold or overworked tire.
Oh, this is getting intense. Roll Postma is just a few car lengths behind Puppy Dog from Hell.
Who will be able to maintain their pace and come out on top?
It seems like Roll Postma has got the bit between their teeth, improving on Puppy Dog from Hell's lap time there.
We will have to see if Puppy Dog from
Braking update. That won't be ideal for Rob Keane. This is a thrilling battle as Robin Overbeck edges closer to Hugh Jass in their fight for P2.
Can Robin Overbeck close the 0.5 second gap and make a pass?
It's game on now. Robin Overbeck has closed the gap to Hugh Jass. It's now down to 0.2 seconds. You know, Hal, during a long race like this, how easy is it for a driver to experience a lapse in concentration?
It can be quite easy, Rob. With so many factors to consider and the intense focus required, even the most experienced drivers can have a momentary lapse. That's why mental training and staying in the zone are so important.
This is what it's all about, folks. Hugh Jass is in hot pursuit of Wanderer, who's just trying to stay ahead.
This is what makes motor racing so exciting. The tension is high and the stakes are even higher. Who will take home the victory? It's too close to call.
It's a battle of wills out there. each driver trying to outsmart and outmaneuver the other. A brilliant maneuver from Robin Overbeck, who has just moved up the field. Disappointing for Robin Overbeck, they now find themselves in third.
Sucks to be them, Rob.
It's a game of cat and mouse out there, with Stefano Canonica trying to find the perfect opportunity to make a move on Roll Postma. The gap is over a second, but every fraction counts. Can Stefano Canonica close in enough to mount a challenge?
That's right, Stefano Canonica in 6th knows they have to push to the limit if they want to catch up. But Roll Postma is no slouch and they're going to be pushing just as hard. It's a battle of skill and will out there.
The gap but braking development. Now I may be wrong here, but I'm not sure that's the racing line. This is where the skill and precision of the drivers really comes into play. Puppy Dog from Hell is chasing Rob Keane in P7.
The tension between Puppy Dog from Hell and Rob Keane is palpable as they battle for P7. No doubt, both drivers know that one mistake could cost them the position. It's a test of nerves as much as skill.
It's an intense battle for position as Rob Keane tries to outmaneuver Stefano Canonica. This is edge of your seat racing. Rob Keane has just put in a faster lap than Stefano Canonica, so that's going to give them something to worry about. This is where the skill and experience of the drivers really come into play. Puppy Dog from Hell will need to stay focused and keep pushing, even when the gap seems insurmountable. It's not over until the checkered flag drops.
It's moments like these that make motorsports so exciting. We're witnessing a battle of skill and strategy between two great drivers, with Puppy Dog from Hell in 8th determined to catch up. But we know Rob Keane isn't just going to hand it to them on a plate. Puppy Dog from Hell is going to have to take it. It should be an interesting battle to watch as long as they can close that gap.
Stefano Canonica wants to get into Rob Keane's slipstream.
They need to keep it on the black stuff. You don't get points for driving over weeds, not in this game.
The gap between Stefano Canonica and Rob Keane is fading faster than the last rays of the outback sun.
Now ain't that something? Stefano Canonica is right on it. Just needs to keep the pedal to the metal to tailgate Rob Keane.
Looks like Richard Rossier is really pushing it to the limit. They're taking those curbs aggressively, but that can unsettle the car and cause handling issues.
Indeed, taking too much curb can upset the car's balance, leading to oversteer or understeer. It's all about finding the right balance between speed and control.
Richard Rossier is pushing hard and has reduced the gap to Mr. Bang to 0.5 seconds.
This is what racing is all about. It's anyone's game at this point. Who will come out on top?
The pursuit is on. Stefano Canonica is closing the gap on Rob Keane, determined to claim P6.
Will Stefano Canonica be able to make a move and pass Rob Keane?
Mr. Bang has the pedal to the metal chasing Richard Rossier.
I might have said this before, but Dogbone, you know the rest.
What a tight spot for Mr. Bang. They have right on their tail 0.1 seconds away, and Richard Rossier just inches away with a gap of 0.1 seconds. It's a true test of their racecraft.
I couldn't agree more, Rob. The gaps to the cars ahead and behind provide valuable information for Mr. Bang. They need to assess the situation and use the gaps strategically to plan their moves.
The tension is building as Robin Overbeck trails behind Wanderer. The gap is slowly but surely decreasing, and the pressure is mounting. Can Wanderer hold on, or will Robin Overbeck be able to close them down?
Indeed, the tension is palpable as Robin Overbeck tries to reel in Wanderer. But Wanderer is not making it easy, maintaining a consistent pace. Can Robin Overbeck find some extra pace to bring the fight to Wanderer?
The pressure is on for Megasaurus 55 as they try to catch up to Huge Ass. It looks like Megasaurus 55 is making a move. The gap to Huge Ass is now down to 0.6 seconds. The excitement is palpable. This is going to be a race for the ages.
The drivers are executing their strategies to perfection, making the most of every opportunity. This is what top-level racing is all about.
The tension is palpable. Who will come out on top in this epic showdown? A great moment for Robin Overbeck, who has just gained a place and moved up the standings. Roll Postma seems to be putting the pressure on Rob Keane.
To achieve anything in this game, you must be prepared to dabble in the boundary of disaster.
It's a tale of two drivers right now, with Roll Postma gaining places and Rob Keane losing them. I'm curious, Hal, can you tell us about any pre-race rituals you had when you were racing?
Of course, Rob. Before every race, I would listen to a specific playlist of songs to help me get in the zone. I also had a lucky pair of socks that I would wear during races. It may sound silly, but those little rituals help me feel prepared and focused.
Seems like Robin Overbeck is getting in range of Wanderer. Oh, this is getting intense. Rob Keane is just behind Roll Postma. An impressive showing from Rob Keane, who has gained positions and left Roll Postma in the dust.
Absolutely, Rob, but there's still a long way to go in this race, and Rob Keane can't afford to get complacent. They have to keep driving with intensity and focus.
Wow, Wanderer is really pushing hard to catch up to Robin Overbeck. There's blood in the water for first place.
When I was racing, we had a saying, if you're not living on the edge, you're taking up too much space. Wanderer is definitely living on the edge today.
Wanderer's on the back foot here, struggling to keep up with Robin Overbeck like a dingo after a roadrunner. The fans are on the edge of their seats. It doesn't get any closer than this.
And the drivers know it too, Rob. They're giving it everything they've got, and you can see them pushing the limits of the car's capabilities.
It's looking good for Megasaurus 55, who has gained places and put some distance between themselves and Huge Ass. A setback for Megasaurus 55, who has just been passed.
Yes, but there's still plenty of race left. Megasaurus 55 needs to stay calm and focused and make their move when the time is right.
Pushing too hard can lead to mistakes, and we're seeing that now. That car is really unsettled as they push for every last bit of speed.
One important aspect here is choosing the right braking points. Richard Rosier needs to be precise to avoid overshooting and losing valuable time.
No room for error here. Megasaurus 55 is breathing down the neck of Huge Ass, waiting for the perfect chance to make their move.
Should things go awry, Megasaurus 55 and Huge Ass might find themselves giving a whole new meaning to the term tandem drifting, though I doubt they'd enjoy it as much as the spectators.
We got a close battle as Mr. Bang closes in on Richard Rosier. You know, Hal, I've always wondered, how do racing drivers stay so cool and collected under such immense pressure?
Well, Rob, it comes down to mental strength and training. Drivers often work with sports psychologists and practice techniques like meditation and visualization to help them stay calm and focused during high-pressure situations.
This is what racing is all about. Two fierce competitors pushing each other to the limit.
The chase between Rob Keane and Huge Ass is like a high-speed game of tag only. The stakes are much higher.
It seems like Rob Keane is struggling. They are not able to maintain their pace.
Can Rob Keane refocus and start putting in the lap times we know they are capable of?
The crowd is on tender hooks as Jurg Yu in 9th chases after Puppy Dog from Hell. The gap is just over a second, and you can feel the tension in the air. Can Jurg Yu find a way to catch up? Things are looking as crook as Rookwood for Jurg Yu, lagging behind Puppy Dog from Hell and the gap stretching out like a long country road. They'll need to find some extra grunt to flip this situation. So, how, considering the high speeds and split-second decision-making involved in racing, what's the impact of even a... Hold on a moment. Oh dear, Mr. Bang has had an incident.
Did the wind contribute to that? It's blowing at 11 kph out there right now.
Things are heating up as Rob Keane closes in on Hugh Jass. The gap between them is down to practically nothing.
This is the moment where legends are made. These drivers will go down in history as the ones who fought tooth and nail for the top spot.
What a move. Rob Keane has moved up to third. Look at the way the drivers are hugging those corners. It's like they're on braking development. I don't think that's the fastest way around Monza. The gap between Megasaurus 55 in fourth and Rob Keane remains over a second, but Megasaurus 55 is not letting up. They're pushing hard and looking for any opportunity to close that gap up. Can they pull it back in the remaining 3 minutes?
Absolutely. Megasaurus 55 in fourth will need to be patient and carefully work to reduce that gap without overdriving it, as they can't afford to take unnecessary risks and risk an off or damaging their car. Let's see if they have what it takes to get back into the game here.
Big gains for Megasaurus 55 as they move up the field, leaving Rob Keane behind.
Yes, but they have to keep pushing hard. This race is far from over, and anything can happen. Megasaurus 55 needs to stay focused and keep driving with skill and determination.
The action is non-stop as Rob Keane shadows Megasaurus 55 through every twist and turn, determined to claim third. It's a close race between Stefano Canonico and Hugh Jass in sixth.
This is where the mental game comes into play. Who will keep their cool under pressure? Stefano Canonico or Hugh Jass? It's anyone's race.
Rob Keane could be looking for a way up the inside of Megasaurus 55. Well, don't come the raw prawn. Rob Keane's giving it some stick, pulling Megasaurus 55 into a mere 0.1 seconds.
This is where the race gets really exciting. Both drivers will be pushing to the limit to gain the advantage.
It's looking good for Hugh Jass, sitting in seventh. Hold on to your hats, folks. Puppy Dog from Hell is right on the heels of Hugh Jass, and we're in for a wild ride. And Puppy Dog from Hell has just won the place from Hugh Jass. How do racing drivers, like yourself back in the day, train themselves to maintain concentration for long periods of time?
Mental training is a huge part of a driver's preparation, Rob. Techniques like meditation, visualization, and working with sports psychologists can help drivers build their focus and mental endurance for a race.
Hold up, breaking info. Oh dear, Puppy Dog from Hell has dropped down to 8th.
Yes, but they can't give up. There's still plenty of time left in this race, and Puppy Dog from Hell needs to stay focused and keep pushing.
This is where the race gets really interesting. Puppy Dog from Hell is closing in on Hugh Jass,
with just 0.9 seconds between them. Will Puppy Dog from Hell be able to keep up the pace and make a pass?
This is what high-octane racing looks like. Rob Keane is breathing down the neck of Megasaurus 55, not giving him any room to relax. Great driving from Rob Keane, who has just gained a place and moved up to third.
Absolutely. Rob Keane is really putting on a clinic out there, and they're making it look easy.
It's like watching two predators circling each other, waiting for the perfect moment to pounce. As a former driver, how did you manage the physical demands of racing?
It's all about preparation, Rob. Drivers undergo rigorous fitness training to build their strength, stamina, and flexibility. A proper diet and hydration plan is also essential to ensure peak performance on race day.
Megasaurus 55 is on a mission, chasing Rob Keane, who's desperately trying to stay ahead. It may seem like Megasaurus 55 is far behind, but Rob Keane can't afford to let their guard down. One mistake could give Megasaurus 55 an opening to catch up.
You're spot on. And Megasaurus 55 knows that they can't rely on Rob Keane making an error. They have to keep driving with skill and determination, and be ready to seize any opportunity that comes their way.
It looks like Wanderer has found another gear in the last sector of the race. It's all over. Wanderer has claimed victory in this race with a stunning drive that will be remembered for years to come. Clearly at the top of their game right now. A nail-biting finish, but Robin Overbeck claims second place.
Intense race, but Robin Overbeck held their nerve and earned a great second place.
Excellent focus from Rob Keane to secure a fantastic third place on the podium.
Great job bringing it home.
Taking 4th, 5th, and 6th is Megasaurus 55, Roll Postma, and Stefano Canonica, with Hugh Jass in 7th. Puppy Dog from Hell in 8th. In 9th, it's Jurg Yu. Richard Rossier brings home 10th. th sees Mr. Bang.